Hello, everybody. This is a Lamley Showcase. We could call it a Saturday Showcase. It has been a while since I've done an official Saturday Showcase where I like to dig into the collection a little bit. We've done a lot of videos like that, but none with the official Saturday Showcase name. It's that type of video. In fact, this is part 2 of the Kyosho Showcase. The first one I did, it's been a while, been a few weeks, months, if not, where I showcased some of these great 164 Kyosho models. And the part 1 was European. Porsche. How about Ferrari? There's some Alfa Romeo. Here's a Porsche right here. Audi, Bentley, whole bunch of European cars. And I said I would do a part 2 with the JDM models. Kyosho has done mainly European, Japanese cars. And it seems, and I could be wrong on this, but it seems that they've kind of moved away from doing this kind of stuff. They have a premium line that used to be called Beads. Now I think it's called Premium. But it seems to me they're promoting mostly their larger scale stuff now. And we might be past this, and now it's a time to fill in gaps if that's what you like to do. But these are beautiful 164 models. I have a link, obviously, down below to part 1 to see the European models, which are super cool. And I could do a part 3, but it would be really boring because it would be American cars, and I have one. I guess you could count the Ford GT40 as an American car, but I kind of consider it somewhat British and just in terms of how, what, when, and where with the GT40. But this Corvette is the only American car that I have. Kyosho, I think, has only done one American car series. And so that would essentially be part 3. So that's done. So call it part 1.5, right? Let's get to the JDM stuff. I have more European models than I do Japanese and Kyosho is a Japanese company, which I think is kind of funny. But we're going to walk through them. And I think when you're talking Japanese cars, I think we obviously gravitate towards the Nissan Skyline. So I put some out front here. In fact, I put out every generation of Skyline, at least that I have, from Kyosho. And then we'll kind of dig into some of the other variations that they've done on the Skyline. And then we'll dig into some of the others, and then we'll be done. But we'll start there. What are these models? They are 164. They are pretty true to scale. I wouldn't say they're as specific as, say, Tomica Limited Vintage and Auto World, but they're pretty much there. There's the Kyosho Corvette. There's the Hot Wheels Corvette. You can kind of see how the size comparison. If we want to stay with the theme, here's the Hot Wheels R32. Here is the Kyosho R32. So pretty similar. Hot Wheels are a little bigger, but Kyosho tries to stick to the to that 164 scale. They do special lines. This is one I haven't opened. This Acura NSX. They typically come blind box, meaning at the store there you don't know what you're getting, but sometimes they have these display windows. This is from Initial D. I've ripped open the box, but I haven't taken the car off. And then sometimes you'll see these special, like these Carnell models that start as Kyosho, but then there's like I guess a secondary company that will jump into these and like customize them a little bit. And these are really cool, highly detailed models. You can see that there's a Ken Mary and Hakosuka mirrors, the whole thing. So there's variations on these. They're just really nice. Some of these cars roll, some of them don't. And I think I've done enough here. Plastic bases usually. These are lighter, not maybe as high quality as some. These are mainly for display. Like I said, this one rolls, but some of them I'll try and specify which ones don't. Here's the Hakosuka. This is the GTR. Pretty standard. I guess the Watt rims maybe aren't stock, but they've done Steelies before. There's millions of versions. I promise you, the ones I'm showing you just scratch the surface of what's out there. But this is all I have. Here's the Ken Mary, similar color. Also a GTR. I'm sitting on the Watt rims as well, but I've seen those with Steelies. Then we get to the 210, like the Skyline Japan. More of a stock version. You'll see stock versions from Kyosho. You'll see more modified race versions, of course. Here is the R30. This is the Iron Mask R30. You know, based on the grille, it doesn't have the it has the more just the closed grille, right, as opposed to the grille of the, I think, the early R30. R31, a very much unloved, kind of ignored Skyline. We haven't seen Hot Wheels do one, but you can see the details on this one. And then we get into the more recent Skylines, like the R32, which I showed you in white, which I like. I have some other ones, I think, in storage. I was looking for them. R33, GTR stock, and then the R34 also GTR, and stock. So I have most of the generations of the Skyline just right there, and then you can get into the actual Nissan GTR if you want to. But then you can kind of go in all kinds of directions. So if we're talking Hakosuka, there is the, here's just another one. This one came from the more premium line, still plastic base. You can see where the screws go in to keep it on the base. I try and keep these open. And this one has the Steelies on it, as you can see. So more of a stock GTR, and then the very famous, iconic racing Hakosuka with that racing. This is M. Kitano. I think that's actual license based on the actual race car. From the Hakosuka, we dig into the Ken Mary. Here may be my all-time favorite Kyosho model. This one's kind of a signature. I've used this as kind of a signature car for images I've done throughout the lifespan of the Lamley blog. This is from the Beads collection. It is the Tokyo, I think the 1972 Tokyo Motor Show Ken Mary. It never raced, but it is GTR, and look at the detail on this. This was shown at the Tokyo Motor Show in 1972 and never made, I believe, because of the gas crisis at the time. I think that's what it is, at least in Japan. I think that's the story. Some of you guys can fill it in, but you can see all the detail on it. It's just fantastic. How about this? Different take on the Ken Mary. This is actually the Yon Mary, the four-door C, was it the 10? The C10 Skyline. This one has the mirrors on it, stock height, stock wheels, the hubcaps. So you can see it just kind of goes into all kinds of different directions. The R30, we're skipping over the 210. The 210 and the R31, those are the only examples I already showed you. Another, like, just kind of R30. I mean, it is the R30, but then Iron Mask as well, but then it has the Watt rims on it, so a little bit more customized. Then if you're talking R33, this is what I think is cool. Sometimes you just get an education on cars when you collect this scale. This, I have two versions from a Skyline series they did of the 400R. It is an R33 GTR, but a special modified racing version, and kind of a legendary car for you crazy Skyline fans. Very much a 90s era car. I have it in, I think there were 3 colors. I have it in yellow, and I have it in red. And you can just see it just kind of fits the wheels, everything. How detailed it is, just pretty cool. And then, of course, I showed you the stock GTR. How about the Nismo GTR? The Z-Tune. And if you look at it, the way it sits, obviously the modifications, I mean, right, in-house modifications for the Z-Tune Nismo GTR on the hood, everything else. And I have 3 different versions. I have this gray one. Look at those rims, too. It just looks so good. And in this beautiful blue. And then finally with the Z-Tune Nismo Deco. It's just hard to not just kind of drool over a model like that. Just super, super pretty. And that's one of the things I love about Kyosho. And one of the things that makes them a great like combination brand, at least for me, with like Tomica Limited Vintage. One day, Tomica Limited Vintage might do a Z-Tune GTR, but they like to keep it so stock on the road. That's, you know, there's exceptions to that rule, of course, but I love how they do it. All right, let's just, since we're in the Nissan range, and that's what I have mostly, we'll go through the actual GTRs right now, and we'll kind of go from more stock to just racing. We've seen Tomica Limited Vintage do this one. This is the first generation Nismo. You can see with the red trim. So I think they may have done the 2017 Beyond Nismo as well, but this is the one I have. I have in 2 colors, white and red. This is one because I have the Tomica Limited Vintage. These are 2 that kind of duplicates that I probably just wouldn't keep eventually, maybe because like when I do the purge, I'll get rid of them. But these I'm keeping. This came from that GTR set that Kyosho did. And this is the GT3 in a stock color, not racing. I have 2 colors, black and white. But check that out. The spoiler, the flares. You can get more detail on this white one. Look at the side mirrors. Exhaust there on the side. I mean, it's just really, really cool. And one thing, when you have these kinds, yeah, you can't throw these around, but you can see on the spoiler how nicely detailed it is. It's more delicate, but you know, it looks more in proportion. It's not a big, thick metal spoiler, but that's what you get when you buy cars like this. When you get these displays, you're going to sacrifice maybe quote unquote playability for realism. Okay, now check this out. This is from the more premium Kyosho line, and this is about as crazy as it gets. GTR racing car, and check out all of the detail from the wheels, the tires, the racing deco, the spoiler, everything, even deco on the side mirrors. Two colors of that one. Even there's even a mirrored portion of the paint. Hard to tell, but it's there. Is that just not pretty or what? These are out there. I think Japan Booster has them occasionally. You're just going to have to, I would search Kyosho and then add the number 64 so you know their 1/64 scale, and you'll see there's a kajillion of them. All right. We've been a Nissan this whole time. Let's get into some of the other brands. I don't have a ton. How about Toyota? AE86. That Panda look. It's not white and black. This one's silver and black. Sits on the Watt rims. It's not officially Initial D like the one I showed earlier, but I really like the looks of that one. That's my own. Well, I have a Lexus here in a second. There is the Mazda Cosmo. You can see how small it is, so it's like comparable scale. How about the RX-3, which Hot Wheels fans are familiar with at this point? But this is a more stock RX-3. The Savannah RX-7. And then we've seen this one by a few brands, but the 787B. This is not the actual Le Mans winner, but this is another one. This is the number 202. You can see based on the rims, it's a little bit different where it has the 5-spoke rims on the front and the back. But this is based on an actual 787B racing car as well. It's just not the world famous one. But I think they did do that one as well. So we've seen Tomica Limited Vintage do it, so I just keep those. All right. Finally, I mentioned Lexus. This, I said the Tokyo Motor Show was one of my favorite Kyoshos. This might be up there. I think it's the Z2 Nismo, the R32, or I'm sorry, not the R32, the Tokyo Motor Show, and then these Lexus LFAs are so cool. They don't roll, but they're incredibly detailed. So this one in white, which was a special like magazine promotion model, and then this one in yellow, which was the Nürburgring. Nürburgring. I can never say it. With the rear spoiler. Such a cool car. I always wondered why Hot Wheels never did one, but no Toyota license right now, so they're not. Maybe one day. And then lastly, but not least, the Acura NSX. Some people like this car. Some people don't. Some people don't think it's as iconic as the first NSX. But in terms of replicas, this one's so pretty. I have 3 colors. I only have 2 here because one's in a box in storage. Red, and then this jet black, which is gorgeous with the dark rims. You can see the rims are so well detailed. But there you go. I've phrased this as why you should collect Kyosho. I think at this point, and I could be wrong, maybe there'll just be a whole resurgence of Kyosho models, but right now, it's about filling in gaps. Find the cars you like the most, see if Kyosho's done them, and they're worth buying. Some are more expensive than others, but if you're not concerned about them not being able to go down the track, which you shouldn't be with these, they're more for display. These are so worth having. They look so good together. But there. That's Kyosho. That's part 2. Tell me, guys, tell me what you think. Tell me if you have some Kyosho, what some of your favorite models are. I might add some here and there. I might thin out the collection as I go too. It just depends. But this group is a nice, healthy group of JDM Kyosho. Thanks, everybody. Fun to do showcases like this. Let me know if there's other cars that you want me to do, other brands that you want me to do, and I'll do them if I got them. Thanks. Bye.